Our specialty at National Diversified Funding Corporation is, among other things, our orientation and training programs where we train our clients on how to acquire businesses when they have limited cash or capital of their own to do it. And one of the techniques that we use is part of what you could call a success template. And basically, it is the concept of using whatever talent or skill set you have as a way of getting your foot in the door and getting part ownership of a company. And then once you are a part owner of the company, you eventually, using the assets and the cash flow of the business itself, you use those to buy out the original owner, leaving you as the sole owner of the business. And what I'm going to do is share with you a case study of one of our clients we worked with in the past and how they were able to accomplish this without a penny out of their own pocket. And they ended up with full ownership of what was a very significant business. This particular template we like to refer to as the star salesperson. I would suspect there are quite a few people who would listen to this short video who are star salespeople or producers for their company and who abide by what is known as the 80-20 rule, where you are probably bringing in 80% of the business, but you represent maybe 20% of the workforce that is actively selling for the company. Now, this rule is invariably true in sales forces and many other areas involving measurable productivity. So, one of our clients was a star salesperson for their parts company. Now, the type of company is not important here. It's the concept which is the takeaway. So, he's the star salesperson and he represents the 20%, bringing in 80% of the business. And he's looking around and recognizes after some time with the company that he is really a large key to the company's success. So one day he gets the courage to approach the owner of the company and he says to the owner, "Look, I'm your star salesperson. I'm bringing in 80% for the company. I would like to become your partner. I would like to have a piece of equity in this company to, as a recognition of the tremendous contribution that I'm making." Now, the response from the owner wasn't what our client was expecting. The owner basically said, "Look, I'm sorry, you're already fat on the commission I pay you, so I already pay you well, so scram, essentially don't bother me anymore and stop asking for too much." And this was not the answer that our client wanted to hear. So with a little bit of training from us, this is what he did. He went out to the competitors of his company and he made them the following proposition. What he basically said was, "I'm the star salesperson at ABC Parts Company. I'm bringing in X amount in pounds in sales revenue, 80% of which represents 80% of the company. And I'd like to go to a company who will give me an opportunity to take part in ownership of the company. And if I would be a part of your company, I would like you open to be happy for me to come here and bring as many of my existing clients over and add my skills to the existing sales team. I think I can ultimately move your company from X pounds in sales upwards to Y amount in sales." So he took this proposition to a handful of competitors and he finally found two companies who were willing to work with him Now, there is a reason he chose one company over the other. And it was not because they were willing to offer him a particularly different deal. But I will go into the reason he chose one company over another a little later. So anyway, he chose this one company and he made this deal with that owner. He made the following deal. He said, when I hit X amount of sales, you will give me 10% of in equity of the company. When I hit Y amount of sales, you will give me 20%. And when I hit Z amount of sales, you will give me 30% of the company. So, but what was important was that he showed the owner that as he hit these milestones, these revenue milestones, sales milestones, how much more the company was worth and how much more income the owner would have as a result of these targets being met. And he was able to show the owner that owning 70% of the company, making these sales targets, would be worth at least twice to 3 times as much as owning 100% of the company in its current state. So, long story short, he moves over to this company, brings a lot of clients with him over to the new company, and he brings in a lot of new business. Within a year, he's earning 30%. He's earned that 30% equity stake, and he has a 30% equity stake in that company. So he's now a part owner in the company, and he's still getting his commissions. And this is significant because the reason the commissions are significant is, as a 30% owner in the business, that business already has assets, inventory, accounts receivable, assets like machinery and equipment. So there's quite a few assets in the company. But it also has, which is part of the commission, it also has cash flow. Once you take into account the income, the expenses, you have some net profit in there and cash flow. And what we train people to do in National Diversified Funding Corporation is we train people how to initially become the partial owner. So once you are the partial owner, whether you own 5%, 10%, 20%, whatever, once you are an owner of the business, it's now possible to use the assets and the cash flow of the business itself to buy out the original owner. So without coming up with a penny of your own money, just your ability to produce sales, just like this guy, he earned in a percentage equity in the company and then used the assets and cash flow of the company to create the leverage to buy out the owner, which left him as the sole owner of the business. Okay, so why would he pick this specific company over the other one? And well, here's what the difference was. One of the owners who offered him this opportunity was 46 years old, and the other owner was 63 years old. He chose the company with the 63-year-old because he knew it would only be a couple of years until that individual was going to retire or would be more willing or open to selling him that 70% with the use of the assets to leverage the buyout. So here's a person with nothing more than talent and ability and a bit of a track record, who worked himself into an ownership of the company and then used the assets of the company to buy out the existing owner without a penny coming out of his pocket. Now, I don't think that is too shabby. So for more ideas and tools, go to www.sagetactics.com. And for support promoting your company, go to www.mickeys.co.uk. I'm Alfred Angelo for Sage Tactics, representing National Diversified Funding Corporation.